Welcome back to the channel. Today what I'm going to be talking about is what is a natural person's greatest enemy. And it's something that is a lot simpler than you would really think. A natural person's greatest enemy when it comes down to working out, it's not the weights. It's not the amount of sets that a person is doing. And it's not even the diet. The natural person's greatest enemy would be time. Finding the time to be consistent in the gym. That right there is more than important than anything. Because without the time, without the effort being put in, then naturally the results that you're going to get out are minor. You're not going to get the results that you really would want. So at some point, if you want to have some type of conditioning about yourself, if you want to be able to burn those calories and stuff that you are consuming, sometimes in excess because of the immobility that we are in a lot of time. It depends on a lot of us. Depends on the job. So you're going to have to make time. There's just no way around it. Time in is what you get out. Without that, the diet, trying to lift weights here and there, it's going to be minuscule. I'm not saying don't do it if you have very little time. But what I'm saying is, it have to be like it was when you was in school. That's the best analogy that I can come up with. When we were in school, we spent all day in school, but while we were in school, we had what they call PE. So what is physical education for the adult? How do we put that in a block of our life that we can do every day? Because when we go to school, it's always there. So it's all about finding the time to have that PE as an adult. And how do you do that? One thing for sure about PE in school is that the facility that you needed was where you was working at. That made it a lot easier. So that leads me to believe that because of time, your exercise equipment will have to be close to you, wherever you are. So the closest place is home. Finding yourself a certain amount of gear that would allow you to train on a daily basis for a certain block. That means you may have to get up a little earlier. That means you may have to go to sleep a little later. But that's the easiest way for you to have PE being an adult. You got to have some type of exercise equipment that's close to you that would allow you to add that in on top of whatever it is that you're doing in your life. Because without that, it would be virtually impossible a lot of the times to do what it is that you have to do to train. Going somewhere have always been an issue with me. That's why I ended up building my own gym. That's why I have my own gym. Simply because of time. Always having to get up and go somewhere else besides home. And I found it easier, like PE, for me to have a certain amount of equipment at home. it don't take a whole lot of machines or anything like that to get yourself trained, to get your body accustomed to working out regularly. It don't take a lot of fancy machines or anything like that. Again, the basics is everything. You don't have to lift a tremendous amount of weight to try to build your body up. I mean, basic weights, moderate weight is all you need to keep your body in some type of conditioning. Now, also with time, you have to have a certain amount of will to work out, because a lot of us have treadmills, not mine, that have things laying over the treadmills that would treat the treadmill more or less like a clothes rack than anything else. So you got to have that will, you got to have that time that will force you to work out regularly. You got to develop that habit. Once you develop that habit, and you have a certain amount of weights and things like that at home, there's really no excuse as to why you can't work out regularly. There really would be no excuse besides you lacking the will to do what you want to do. And no matter what you may believe, for those who may think that, no kind of drug in the world, no matter how good it is going to help you with just being lazy. It's going to help you when you don't put the time in. It's not going to help you. So you have to develop your own will. You have to develop your own time. You have to make something work out. You have to be willing to find that avenue that will force you to work out regularly. You have to figure out how to get PE as an adult. Physical education as an adult. Educating yourself daily on the ways of training. And if training really doesn't matter, it depends on what it is that you're doing. Whether you're riding a stationary bike, you're walking a treadmill, then you would have you have some that have the excuses of, walking on the treadmill. I had a guy that I was talking about that, and which is true. You don't get the same stimuli from walking in the real world as you do on the treadmill. But what you do get is some type of training in. So we weren't born with machines, but we was born with our hands, our legs, whatever we was born with, and using the basic things for that, because actually you can keep yourself in shape without even standard barbells, dumbbell curls, and all this other stuff. You still got your push-ups, your sit-ups, dips, all that kind of stuff that you need really nothing but your body weight. There's always a way to work out. You just got to find the time. You just got to find that will. Find that time to get PE in real life, and that right there will carry you for the rest of your life. Anyway, that's what I thought I'd talk to y'all about. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And again, I'll be talking to you later.